Hello everyone. With the knowledge from our previous session on Knapsack using dynamic programming, let's do one full example so that you have a better understanding of how to use the Knapsack dynamic programming recurrence and fill the grid and find a solution. So here is the problem where the capacity of Knapsack is 5. We have 4 items and their weights are denoted by Wi and their value is denoted by Vi. And as we did in our previous session, we are going to denote the items by I and we are going to denote the capacity by X. So we are going to go from 0 to the capacity of the knapsack, and on the x-axis for I we are going from 0 to number of items, which is 4. And here is the recurrence for the knapsack which we discussed in our previous session. It starts with for all x. This means for every I, for 0th I, and for every x we are going to put a 0. So then for 0th I is the first column, and for every x we do this. Okay. After that we say I minus 1 x and I minus 1 x minus Wi plus Vi. And if x minus Wi comes out to be negative, then we are going to take the first term. This means we are going to take the first term. So this is the recurrence we discussed in our previous session on Knapsack using dynamic programming. If you haven't watched that video, I recommend you go and have a look so that you have a better understanding of this session. Okay, so let's start with the filling of the grid. So we will start with I is equal to 1, where W1 is 2 and V1 is 18. For I is equal to 1, we are going to do for every x. So when x is equal to 0, then we are calculating AIX, which is A1 x is 0 and max of AI minus 1. AI minus 1 is 0 and x is 0. So A00 is 0 and the second condition AI minus 1 is 0 and x is 0 and minus W1 Wi. So I is 1, which means 0 minus W1 is 2 plus Vi, which means V1 is 18. So if you see x minus Wi, this condition is coming out to be less than 0, and this is going to be not applicable, and we are going to pick the first one. So A10 is going to be 0. Okay. Let's move to x is equal to 1. This means AI1 x1 max of AI minus 1. You need to remember the recurrence. AI minus 1 is 0 and x is 1. 0 and 1 is 0. And then AI minus 1 0 and x minus W1, which is x is 1 minus 2 is minus 1 plus Vi is 18. So this is again x minus Wi is coming out to be less than 0. So this is not applicable, and we are going to pick the first condition, and A11 is going to be 0. Okay. Then x is equal to 2. So we have AI x is equal to max of AI minus 1, which is 0, and x is 2, 0, 2 is 0, and then AI minus 1 is 0, and x minus W. X is 2 and W1 is 2. 2 minus 2 is 0. A 0 0 plus 18, which is V1 is equal to 18. So we get a maximum of this, and A12 is 18. Then x is equal to 3, which is AI x is equal to AI minus 1 is 0, x is 3, 0, 3 is 0, AI minus 1 is 0, and x minus W, x is 3 and W1 is 2, 3 minus 2 is 1 plus 18, 0, 1, 0, 1 is this value is 0, 0 plus 18 is 18, and we are going to get a 18 for 1, 3. This is I, this is x. Okay. Now for x is equal to 4, we are not going to do the calculation, let's say, and this is going to be 18, and for x is equal to 5, this is going to be 18. So okay, now we are done for I is equal to 1 and for all the x. Now I is equal to 2, which means W1 W2 is going to be 4. Now we are taking this, and V2 is 28. Let's calculate for x is equal to 0, which means A2 0 is going to be AI minus 1, which is 1, and x, which is 0, and AI minus 1 is 1, and this is x is 0, x minus W2, which is minus 4, plus 28 is equal to not applicable, because x minus Wi is coming out to be less than 0. So we are going to pick the first. So A20 is 0. Okay. Now x is equal to 1, So then a2 x is 1 is equal to max of ai minus 1 is 1 and x is 1, which is 0, and ai minus 1 is 1, and x minus wi is 1 minus 3, which is I'm sorry, 1 minus 4 is minus 3, plus vi is 28, which is invalid, and we are going to take the first one. So 2 1 is going to be 0. Then x is equal to 2, a 2 2 is equal to a 1 I minus 1, and x a12 is 18, a12 is 18, so we take 18, and the other one is ai minus 1 is 1, and x minus w2 is 2 minus 4 is minus 2, plus 28, which is not applicable, and we are going to take the first one. So this will come out to be 18. Then for x is equal to 3, we do the same, and the second condition will be not applicable, and we are going to get 18. Then for x4, where things are going to get a little interesting, so we are going to do that step. So from here to here, x is equal to 4, then ai is 1 and 4 is ai minus 1. Sorry, this is 2, 2 4, ai minus 1 is 1 and x is 4, a14 is 18, a14 is 18, so we say 18, and then ai minus 1 is 1 and x is 4 minus w2 is 4, which is 0, plus 28. a10 is 0 plus 28 is 28, so we get this. This means a24 is going to be 28, 24, and similarly we get 28 here. I'm not going to solve for x is equal to 5. This is coming out to be 28, and we are done for x is equal to 1. Oh, I is equal to 1, and then let's move to I is equal to 3. Then w3 is equal to 3 and v3 is equal to 10. So then x equal to 0 will come out to be 0, x1 will come out to be 0, and x2 will come out to be 18. So let's skip these 3 and move on to the next. So let's say this is 0, 0 and 18. Let's do for I is equal to 3 and x is equal to 3. Okay. So then x is equal to 3. Then ai is 3 and x is 3, which is max of ai minus 1 is 2 and 3, 2, 3 is 18, and ai minus 1 is 2, and this is x minus w3, so which is 3 minus 3 is 0, plus v3 is 10, which is 10. So we get this, and a33 is 18. Okay. Let's do for x is equal to 4. So then ai is 3 and x is 4. Max of I minus 1 is 2 and 4. 2, 4 is 18. And ai minus 1, 2, and 4 minus 3 is 1. 4 minus 3 is 1. So, and plus 10. This is going to be 2, 1. 2, 1 is 0. So this is going to be 10. And 3, 4. I think I made a mistake. 2, 4 is 2, 4 is actually 28. 2, 4 is 28. So we get this. So then A34 is 28. A34 is 28. And similarly, A35, we are going to get 28 by the same method. So when x is equal to 5, this will be 28. Okay. Let's move on to the last step of I is equal to 4. So then W4 is 2 and V4 is 24. Okay. So then x is equal to 0 will come out to be 0. X is equal to 1 will be 0. So let's fill. I'm not going to do these steps. Let's move from I is equal to 4 and x is equal to 2. So then x is equal to 2. Then I and x2 is equal to max of ai minus 1, which is 3, and x is equal to 2, 3, 2. So 3, 2 is 18. And ai minus 1 is 3, and x is 2 minus w4 is 2, which is 0, plus 24. So 30 is 0 plus 24, which is 24, and we get a max of this. So A42 is 24. 24. Similarly, we are going to get this 24. So then x equal to 3 will be 24. X is equal to 4, which is I is 4 and x is 4. Max of ai minus 1, which is 3. X 4. 3, 4 is 28. And ai minus 1 is 3. And x is 4. 4 minus w4 is 2. 3, 2 plus 24 is, so 3, 2 is 18. So we get, this is 18 plus 24 is 42. So A44 is 42. then x is equal to 5. So then ai and x is 5 is equal to max of ai minus 1 and x 5, 3 5, 3 5 is 28 and ai minus 1 3 and then x minus w 4. X is 5, 5 minus w4 is 2, 5 minus 2 is 3 plus vi, vi is v4 24, which will come out to be 42 because this is 18. So we get a maximum value of 42, which comes out from this and this. So if we see, either in our previous video, what we saw was either 42 is coming from this or it is coming from previous column and it subtracting its weight, which is 2. So 5 minus 2 is 3 here. So then this value is coming from 18 plus 24, 42. So our set of solution will be item 4, and then from here the value is coming either from here or previous column subtracting the weight of item 3, which is 3. So subtracting the weight, 3 minus 3 is going to be 0. So the value is not coming from here, the value is actually coming from here. So we move here and then we see that again the value is either coming from here or it is coming from previous column and minus the weight of second item, which is going to be negative. So definitely the value is coming from here, and then this is going to be our final value because the value is not coming from here. So item 1. So we got item. That's how we reconstructed the solution, and this was a full example which showed full steps of using the recurrence and filling the grid for the knapsack. I hope this example was helpful for you, where you can follow the example and are able to solve any other knapsack problems. So with this, I am going to end this session here. Thanks for watching, and I am going to see you in our next session on dynamic programming, which is probably traveling salesman. Bye for now.